Alrighty, so we're recording. So I want to begin by talking about the assignments. But thank you all for like sharing your opinions about like how you're feeling and what's been going on. But let's see. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Now we can.
Okay, so if you go on Canvas and you go on assignments, they're all here. So I'm not going to go over the ones that were already due, but for the student education plan, I changed the deadline to April 29th. I would say like more than half of you are done with this. The other few of you that aren't done with this, I feel like everybody in this chat is done with this. I don't even know if I should bother. Well, I'll just go over it anyways. So the student education plan, I changed it to be due April 29th. You can get it done before then. You can get it done this week, next week. All you need to do is either schedule an appointment with me or send me the education plan you worked with either your Promise Counselor, EOPS, TRIO, whatever special program you may be in. The university research, we're still working on that. This one we're doing in class. So don't worry so much about this one. The resume packet, we're still gonna do that one. And again, we're gonna try to get it done, most of it in class. Whatever we don't finish in class, you could easily do that on your own time, but that one should be fine via Zoom. The internship and leadership, I changed it. So if you click it, now it's this doc right here, the informational interview. So now you are going to interview the person who was supervising you for your internship assignment. Or you can find another person. So you could read it on your own time, but basically you're gonna reach out to someone, or again, the person who's already supervising you, and just ask them about their field. So like their educational path, their degree, their responsibilities, what do they like about their job, what does their job look like, et cetera, et cetera. Lots of information on that document. So yeah, we don't have time to go over it right now, but just know it's there.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Because we talked about the internship, like I think the last class or class before over here. You said that what if we don't already have an internship? And so, because I wanted to do Active Minds, and I'm pretty sure that's all closed down right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So what I would do is you can just reach out to Perry. Just reach out to him and say, hey, Perry, can I do an informational interview? It should only take like 20 to 30 minutes of your time.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we can
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and we can see exactly what we should ask them inside the informed interview, right?
Yeah, they're in this, there's questions in this document.
Okay. All right, perfect.
If some of you already did your hours, and I don't want that to go to waste. So if you already did your hours, that is going to be extra credit. So that will help tremendously. I don't want you guys to go out and about and trying to get your hours if you haven't gotten them. Like, don't do that. Once maybe this coronavirus stuff is over, then you can do hours if you want, but don't worry about doing that. The final, it's still going to be the same. Instead of, if we for some reason we don't meet anymore throughout the semester, then we can just do it via Zoom. You and your group members could, like, one of you can put up the slides, and you could like all take turns doing your presentation, which I will post out a Canvas announcement, and I want everybody to respond with the careers they're doing. If I already talked to you and you already told me your career, I'm gonna post it on there. Like, for example, I'll put like Carla, social worker, Jessica, exercise physiology, and I'll just put the person's name and the career they chose. And if your name is not up there, then you have to comment with the career you're presenting on. And again, no one can do the same career. For example, Miguel is doing physical therapy or physical therapist. No one can do physical therapist. That is off limits. Yes.
So wait, then we're going to do the career that what we want to do, or the career that fits within those letters that we did during the face-to-face classes.
It has to be the career you want to do. Don't waste your time researching a career that you're not considering. That would be awful. So it's a career that you are genuinely considering. And we'll it should fit under those letters, because those letters just represent the whole world of work. And within those industries, you can find a career that falls within.
Gotcha.
And this
Yeah,
is
like for example, someone wants to be a nurse and they want to do healthcare, but they end up in the educational setting. There are school nurses, like you can be a nurse in the educational setting, or you can teach like nursing students, or there's a lot of different ways to get involved in
okay.
different industries, if that makes sense.
And this is different, my bad. This is different than the 15-minute presentation, right?
This is different than what? I'm sorry?
And this is, the final is different from the 15-minute presentation, right? Or is it the same project?
No, that's the same project.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, same project.
Adela, is it actually possible for us to make it an individual thing? I feel like it's just really hard to do a group presentation at this time, and like some people aren't even in class. So I don't know how realistic it is, honestly, if we're not going to be meeting up in person anymore to do a group presentation. I don't know if anyone else feels that way.
Let's see.
It does make things a little bit awkward, to be honest, especially if you had a bigger class too, or a bigger group too, with your letters. But like I only had one person, so it doesn't really make it too difficult because it's pretty much one person who have to work anyway to fill the 15-minute time. But true, I mean, if I could just do it by myself, that would like cut a lot of corners for me too. But it's up to you though. But it would make things a lot easier though. Just
Okay, I'll look into that. I think it could be possible. Let me just look into it, because I know there's some parts that had to be like that had to be merged together, but maybe we could separate that too. I'll get back to you guys. And then for the final exam, I think I'm just gonna do that through Canvas. Like I'm just gonna post it on there, and it's just like, you know, a regular exam, like multiple choice, short answer, fill in the blank, true or false, etc. Any questions about the assignments? No? Okay, perfect. I can't believe there's only like 5 students. Where's the other, how many? 16? 16 students are missing, wow. Okay, well, let's go over, can you all see this? The CSUGE? Let me see. Just give me a thumbs up if you could see it. Okay, Axel, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So CSUGEs. Let me move this thing. How do I move this? Okay. Alrighty. So again, we're talking about the different education plans, and all 3 of them are posted on Canvas. Today, we're just going to focus on 2, the CSUGEs and IGETC, and which one you would use based on your ultimate goal. So the CSUGE is recommended if you're following an ADT, which again, you should know by now if you're following an ADT, which is the Associate Degree for Transfer, or if you are only focusing on CSUs. There are some students that say, I'm only gonna apply to like San Francisco State and San Jose State, and that's it, like just CSUs, then you would follow this path. If you're aiming for a UC, a private school, or an out-of-state school, do not follow the CSUGE. It could be it could lead to different implications. The courses are very similar to IGETC. So let's say you are set on following the CSUGE, but then later down the road, you change your mind and you're like, actually, I do want to follow IGETC. A lot of the courses do overlap. And AP exams count. So if you took an AP exam and you passed, not the class, not the AP class, the AP exam, and you passed with a 3 or higher, let me know, send me your scores, and we will make sure that they will get transferred into your GEs. Any questions about this stuff? No? Okay. So this is what it looks like. This is the CSUGE. Again, this is the 2017-2018. The up-to-date one is on Canvas. That one is posted on Canvas. So for the CSUGEs, Areas A1, A2, A3, and B4 must be a C or higher. If you get a C minus, that does not count. It has to be a C or higher. For the other areas, Ds are okay. So as we go through it, it'll make more sense. Also, so like, let's say you're taking History 108 and you see that History 108 is posted in multiple areas, it usually just satisfies one subject. And as we go through that, it'll also make more sense. So area A, so the English language requirement. So this is the A1, A2, A3. Again, these have to be a C or better. If you get a C minus, you have to take the course again. A common course that a lot of students take is Com 110. English 100 or 105 are the common ones for area A2. And for area A3, a lot of students do English 110. I don't think we offer 165 at Skyline anymore. I think our sister schools, Kenyatta and CSM, do. So if you take it there, that's fine, but it doesn't count. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll see a class listed more than once. Just because you take English 100 here doesn't mean that you can count it here. It could only count in one area. Any questions about area A3? No?
I believe 165 is the creative writing, but I'm not sure. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, you don't have to worry. You are going to look up classes, but not right now.
I know, but I'm just saying that I believe Skyline does offer it because I believe even me and you discussed the creative writing class. So
165 is not creative writing.
Oh, never mind. Oops.
Is this for CSU or out of state? This is CSU, right?
CSUs and state schools are the same. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. All right. For sure.
And then, so area B. So we're done with area A. Area B is scientific inquiry and quantitative reasoning. So there are 4 areas here, area B1, B2, B3, and B4. Area B1 is the physical sciences. A lot of students, I don't know why they confuse it with physical education. It's not physical education, it's physical science. Some common courses that a lot of students take are geography, geology, and oceanography. Astronomy is a hit or miss with students, and I only recommend chemistry or physics if your major requires it or if you are considering those majors. If you're not considering chemistry or physics, don't take those courses. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's not common for students who are not in those majors. Life science is anthropology, biology, biotech, environmental science, and psychobiology. Lots of different courses here. Environmental science is a popular one, anthropology, and different bio courses. Either one course in area B1 or B2 has to have a lab. Both can have a lab if you want, it's okay, it's up to you, but one of them must require lab. Doesn't matter which one you choose. If the class has a little square, like Astronomy 101 or Anthropology 127, that means that the lecture and the lab are separate. So you can do just the lecture or just the lab. If it has the little circle, it means that the lab is included within the lecture. So you sign up for one and you get the lecture and lab. For example, Biology 101, that's a lab and a lecture combined.
So you get graded separately for the lab and the class?
If it's separated like Anthro 125, 127, correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I always tell students that when you take a science course and the lab, whether it's separate or combined, it's like you're taking a class and a half because the lab is its own little class. It has its own like little exams, assignments, lab reports, projects, etc. It's like its own little requirements, if that makes sense. And then area B4 is mathematics. So you are required to take a transferable math. Even if your major doesn't require a math course, you still have to take a transfer level math. Any questions about area B? Any questions, area B? No? Okay, perfect. Area C is arts and humanities. So area C, there's 2 sections, arts, C1, and C2, humanities. You have to take a course from each area. So one in arts, one in humanities. A third course can be an either or, but it has to be a total of 3 courses. For example, you can do 2 arts and 1 humanities, or 2 humanities and 1 arts. And it must equal a total of 9 units. So let's say you decide to take a class at, I don't know, Dianza, or a quarter unit course, or somewhere else, and the course only equals 2 units or 2.5, and it doesn't equal the 9 units, even though you took 3 classes, you have to take another one to equal 9 units. Any questions about area C?
Did I see Italian on there?
Hey, what? I'm sorry?
Did I on that last slide? I saw ITAL. Was that Italian?
Correct.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. So
I didn't.
go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't see that at Skyline. If I knew that they offered that, I would have totally taken it somewhere else.
Oh no, so that's one thing to consider. So thank you for bringing that up, Marco, that you should like look into your different options, which we're gonna go over that today also. So thank you for bringing that up. And the humanities is languages, like there's like Arabic, like Chinese, Filipino, Spanish, Japanese, Italian, yeah, different languages.
You said you had to equal 9 units. So
For
does that
that
mean,
area.
yeah, does it mean that there's a C1 that equals 9 units exactly? Or
No, at Skyline in particular, they all equal 3 units.
oh,
Well,
okay.
some equal 5, some equal more than 3. If that makes, no, more, yeah, some are more than 3 units, but you still have to do 3 courses.
Oh, 3 courses. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Like
Oh,
maybe you'll do like Italian 1 and Italian 2. That gives you 10 units, but it's still, you still need to equal the.
at least 9. Okay. Okay. So 1 from the first section and 2 from the other one, right?
No, the third one can, so
Oh.
1 from arts, 1 from humanities, and the third course can be from either or.
Oh, okay. Oh, so at least just 1 class from each.
Correct, correct. Good questions. Alrighty. So on the back, ideally we would be doing this in class and you guys would have the printout with you, but you don't. So this slide is kind of irrelevant. But on the back, there's Area D. Area D is Social and Behavioral Sciences. Again, it's a total of 3 classes, 9 units, and it has to be from 2 disciplines. So what that means is that disciplines, you could also think of it as subjects. So for example, if your major requires that you take 3 psychology courses, you can only count 2. The third class has to be from a different discipline or subject. So it could be like anthropology, business, sociology, etc. It just has to be 2 different disciplines. And again, 9 units total. Any questions about area D? No, makes sense? Okay, perfect. Next is area, the history requirement. So the history requirement is required, it's not required to transfer, it is required to graduate from a CSU. So again, if you are aiming for a CSU, it would be a good idea to just get this out of the way here at Skyline College. And there's two different areas. So there's the US history and US government. And the next one is state and local government. These courses can double dip. So for example, let's say you do political science 301. Political science 301 is also up in area D, right here. So it would count for here for state and local government, and it'll also count for area D. You could either count them in humanities or social science, depending where they are listed. Any questions about the history requirement? No? Okay. And if you don't complete these history courses, it is not a big deal. You will not get denied from a university because of that. Next is Area E. And all of you are going to complete Area E with CRER-137. Yay. And that is it for the CSUGEs. Any questions about the CSUGEs? No? Okay. Made sense? Perfect. So next we are gonna go through IGETC. And again, IGETC works for all the different institutions of higher education where you get your bachelor's degree. So you can use it for private, out-of-state, CSU, and UC. So if you're unsure about what university you wanna go to, or you're open to different options, then just use IGETC as a default. Me personally, as a counselor, I usually use IGETC as a default just because it'll apply to everywhere. If you complete IGETC, it does not guarantee admissions to any university. All the courses on IGETC have to be completed with a C. So for example, let's say you take Italian and you get a D, it'll still count for the CSUGEs. For IGETC, that D in Italian does not count. It has to be a C or better. C- is also not acceptable. C- is not considered passing. Again, courses listed in multiple areas do not count for more than one area, except for languages and history. Those are the only ones that double dip. And we'll go through that. It'll make sense as we go through IGETC. So this is what IGETC looks like. It's very, very similar to the CSUGE. IGETC, it is, again, all courses have to be completed with a C or better. C- is not acceptable. Area 1, similar to Area A from the CSUGE, there's A1, 1A, 1B, and 1C. 1C is for CSUs only. So if you are set on going to a UC, then don't worry. A lot of students who say, I'm only applying to UCs, I'm not gonna apply to any CSUs. A lot of them don't take oral communication, and that's fine. A common class for 1A is English 100 or 105, and for 1B is English 110. Oops. Sorry. Okay. It's just, okay, it's skipping over. What? Why isn't it letting me scroll to Area 2? Okay, well, Area 2 is down here. It's not letting me scroll to it. Let me try one more time. Oh, there we go. So Area 2 is math. For math, again, required to do transfer level math. If your major does not specify which math to take, then you can take any course from Area A2, or Area 2, sorry. Area 3, Arts and Humanities, again, very similar to Area C. There's the 3A Arts, one has to be from Arts, and 3B, one has to be from Humanities, for a total of 9 units. And the third one can be from either or. Area 4 is very similar to Area D, which is the social sciences. And again, it has to be from 2 different disciplines. So you cannot count 3 courses in history. You can count 2 courses in history, and the third one has to be from a different discipline.
One quick question, and for
Yeah.
the disciplines, it's pretty much just each bolded different class, right?
Yeah, like a different subject.
Oh, okay.
And then Area 5, physical and biological sciences. So the difference is that on the CSUGEs, they call it life science. On here, it's called the biological science, but very similar classes and same concept. If it has a little square, the lab is separate. If it has a little triangle, the lab is included. Instead of a little dot, it's a little triangle. Don't know why, but it's different in that aspect. And then for the language, you can satisfy Area 6 in so many different ways. The common way that a lot of students satisfy it is by completing 2 years of high school study in one language. Let's say in your high school, you did 1 year of French, passed with an A, and the next year you did Spanish and you passed with an A. That does not count. It has to be the same language for 2 years or more. Now, let's say you went to high school and you jumped straight into level 3 Spanish. You just did 1 year of Spanish, but you did level 3. That counts because it means that you were proficient enough to bypass 2 or more years, if that makes sense. Let's say you took the AP class, AP Spanish, but you did not do the exam. That's fine. Over here, the AP class counts. It doesn't have to be the exam. Let's say you studied, you were your first years of life in a different country, studying in a different language, and then you moved to California, that also counts. So there's so many different ways to satisfy the language requirement without having to take a course. Any questions about that? No? Okay.
Oh, well, just American Sign Language seems to work for that, right? For our
Correct.
language?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
American Sign Language counts. The
Okay.
language requirement is also just a UC requirement. So if you are set on CSUs, you are not required to do a foreign language. A lot of private universities do require, the ones I've seen require foreign language. So something to keep in mind. And then back to the history courses. Again, these are for CSUs only. If you are set on CSUs, if you are not applying to CSUs, you are only applying to UCs, then you don't have to worry about those history requirements. But if you are thinking of keeping CSUs as an option, then you probably want to get those out of the way. Any questions about I Get C? Anybody? No? You guys are good? Okay, so now we're gonna work, how much time do we have? Okay, now I'm gonna give you, perfect. I'm gonna give you guys time to work on, again, that university research project. That's a big chunk of your grade. We're gonna work on that right now. So let me show you what it looks like. Can you guys still see my screen? Yeah, still looks good? Okay, perfect. So when you go back to assignments and you go to the university research, sorry, I think somebody sent a comment. Okay, perfect. Isabella said yes. Okay, so back to the university research. So 25 points was that major prep report, which is either your assist report, ADT, or your articulation report. The next one is this form that we're gonna work on right now. So I emailed it to all of you if you worked on it in class. If you don't have it, please message me right now and tell me, hey, I don't have this page. Can you message it to me? And I'll email it to you right now. But this is it. And I don't know how to flip it. How do I flip this thing? Maybe if I open it with, I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys can see it. I don't know. Yeah.
If you download it, like there's the download icon. Well, anyway, there's a way to do it.
Thank you. Okay.
Like,
oh, perfect.
And then
it was so easy. Thank you. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm so sorry these are so dark. They were not meant to be that dark because you guys have to write in these dark parts unless you have like a way to, well, maybe I could do a dark version of it. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm gonna post a nicer version of it where you're gonna fill in these parts right here. So please, please, please only do one. Either do this one, the CSU General Education, or I Get Z. Please don't do both. Just do one. And you're gonna fill in what you're taking for all of these areas. For example, some of you did one of these English courses. It counts as area A2 for the CSU GEs. For I Get C, it counts as 1A, and you can't see it. I apologize about that, but it's right here. And then CRER-137, I wrote it here for area E because it counts for area E. So you're gonna do one, not both of these columns. How are you gonna fill, wait, I think I saw a chat comment. How do I open the chats? Sorry, I'm not using my MacBook. I'm using oh, sorry, okay. I'm not using my MacBook, so I'm not used to this particular computer. So it's taking me a little longer to get used to Zoom and all of this stuff, but yeah, you're gonna put in your GEs. So you're gonna take a GE plan, which is the next part of this part, the next 25 points. Do you guys see this part right here? So this is where you're gonna select one. You're either gonna do the CSU GE or I Get C, not the AA. Don't do the AA one. Do CSU or I Get C. So where do you get these pages? Where do you find it? Some of you already got it through meeting with me, which you can use that. I totally accept that. That's fine. If you have not met with me or a counselor and you don't have it, or you want a new one, you want to start from scratch, you're gonna go to home. And then right here where it says self-awareness part 2, this is the unit we're on right now. You're gonna go to right here where it says general ed plans. You're gonna click general ed plans and you're gonna pick one again, either IGETC or the CSUGE. I don't know why this one's not, interesting. But I'm pretty sure if you copy it and then you paste it, it should come up. Let's see. Let's try it out. It does, perfect. So this is the plan. So what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna go through each of the areas, just like I did in the lecture right now, but now you're gonna actually pick classes. So you're gonna start picking classes that you are going to put on here. So for example, a lot of you on your plan have Area C1 Arts, and it doesn't say what it doesn't have a particular class, it just says Area C1 Arts. So you're gonna go on there, and you're gonna look up these courses. You're gonna look them all up and see which one sounds interesting to you. Make sure it doesn't have a prerequisite. If it has a prerequisite, that means that you have to complete a class before you can take it. So you're gonna look up a class. So let's say you look up all the music classes. Then you can start, let's say you look up all the music classes and you see music 100. Music 100 sounds interesting to you. Like, oh, the subject sounds good. Like it sounds like a class I want to take. Then you will write it right here, music 100. And you're gonna fill this out for all the GEs that you have to take. How do you look them up? How do you know what those GEs are? Well, I linked the catalog. So if you go back to the modules, right here where it says course descriptions, you're gonna click course descriptions and it wants to open. So all the courses are here. So again, we're back to Area C1 and we wanna know what those courses are. If you go down to music and you click it, all the music courses should pop out, I think, let's see. Yeah, they're all here. So you're gonna go through each one and let's go back to Music 100. What the heck is Music 100? Fundamentals of Music. You click it and it tells you what it's about. You read the little course description and you say, oh wow, this sounds interesting. I wanna take it. Then you would put that on there. And make sure again that you look at prerequisites and core requisites. Make sure it says none. If it says a course right here, that means you have to take it. So for example, let's say you are on area B2, life science. So you're looking for a life science to take, to put on here. And you go to B for bios. And you click it and you look at all the little bio courses and you think, oh, human anatomy sounds interesting. Well, human anatomy has a prerequisite. You have to pass biology 100 or any of these other bios before you can take it. Do you want to take 2 bio courses to take this one? Most likely not. It wouldn't be a good use of your time. So yeah, don't do that. Any questions about that before we move on to the next thing? Another thing that is going to be really important. Everybody's good? Okay, now, another thing that you want to do is all your major courses that you have listed right here, some of them are also gonna fall on here. They're gonna double count. So for example, let's say your major requires psychology 100. Let's say you have to take psychology 100 for your major. Psychology 100 is right here. It counts as an Area D course. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Area D and you're gonna write Psychology 100. Let's say you also have to take Sociology 100. Sociology 100, Soci 100 is also right here. So there you already satisfied not only 2 courses for your major, but also 2 courses for Area D. Psychology 100, Sociology 100. Does that make sense? So your major prep also counts for your GEs. So make sure that you double dip in that way and don't take more courses than you don't need. Any questions? No? Okay, so that's what you're gonna work on. I know we only have 3 minutes left of class. which this part shouldn't take you too long. Hopefully, I guess that's homework, I guess. Yeah. Because we're gonna need to move on to another thing on Wednesday. So yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Again, a lot of you who already met with a counselor have this part already filled out. So that's gonna be helpful. Alrighty, well, yeah, you guys are free to work on that. I'm gonna stay here for a few more minutes if you have any questions. If not, you are good to go. I'm gonna stop recording.
Okay,